Hello, welcome to DriveCast. My name is Curtis. Welcome to episode 6. And if it's not episode 6, then I don't know what episode it is. But I had a few videos and shorts that I posted this week and I had a lot of feedback and a lot of people going through my comments and messages and, really talking about, grinding and mentality, being the 1%. There's a few people in there that, had some things to say about being taken advantage of. And I just want to say that my main goal of this DriveCast and all the content that I'm posting and my mission is to help technicians get more time on their calendars, but also get more money in their pockets. I want to help you be as efficient as possible and also make more money. Whether that's getting a raise, whether that's being efficient at work, whether that's cutting things in your life, adding things into your life, your work life. That's my mission here, is to really help technicians and or mechanics. So I just want to get that off, get that out there and let everyone know that my mission is to help us. I'm one of you. I'm here. And I know that we can we can band together and attack this thing head on. With that being said, some of the comments I received were a little silly. I talked about 1% being the greatest, and I had a few people that, they had stuff to say like, working hard is just the system taking advantage of you. Putting in extra effort isn't worth it because your business or a place of work doesn't appreciate you. Working overtime or putting in extra time, some people don't want to do that. I get it, but if you're trying to be the top guy in your company, the top guy in the brand, the top guy overall, then you're going to have to put in extra time. I mean, if you're just trying to work your schedule, not do any extra work, not do any extra anything, well then get used to getting a not extra anything type of paycheck, because that's what you're going to get back what you give. If you're not willing to go above and beyond just a little bit, I mean, I know it's slow in the industry right now, but what are you doing in those slow times? Are you working on yourself? Are you working on your training? Are you teaching people? Are you helping people? Are people helping you? Are people watching you? If you're not trying to learn, whether it's safety training or training for your brand or just learning a repair that you're not familiar with, like if you're not doing those things while you're sitting around, organizing your tools, cleaning up your area, like all those things help you even though they don't make you more money. So if you're not trying to better yourself, like can you expect to get a better paycheck? Like if you think you deserve more money, well, I mean, your place of work isn't going to see that. They're going to see you sitting on your bum doing the bare minimum. But why do they want to give you a raise? Like you have to put in the work to get that raise. And once you get if you can be extremely efficient in an 8-hour workday and you can flag a bunch of hours and not have to worry about like putting in a whole bunch of extra physical time, then cool. Like if they can see that, but you have to be efficient during that time. And if you're like complaining that it's slow, and yeah, it's slow here, it's slow there, it's slow everywhere right now. It's an election year. And if you've been in a business long enough, holiday season and election years are the worst. And right now we're in both of those. So you can anticipate it being slow for a while. That's just how it goes. That's normal. But it's how are you thriving through that period? What are you doing in that period so that next year or the next time it's busy, you're making more hours, you're making more money? Because there's plenty of time to sit around on your phone and scroll through Instagram watching my videos. I get it. I watch my videos all the time too. But you can also be looking in the mirror and what can you do? Because that's the ultimate question here is, you can sit there and complain. I mean, that's easy. I do it sometimes too, but then I kind of look in the mirror, look at myself and kind of reflect and be like, well, man, I'm a piece of work just complaining like that. Nothing's going to get done. You're not going to make more money. What skills can you learn? Even if it's not in your business, it's not in your place of work and fixing cars or whatever, you can still learn things, watch some podcasts, watch some YouTube videos. I mean, you could literally build a course for yourself on any subject through ChatGPT. I mean, I learned a CAD program over 3 months. Yeah, I'm not a master at it, but I can do some cool stuff too. You have to do the work to earn the money. You can't just sit around and wait for people to give you handouts. If you're one of the type of people that wants to start their own business, start their own company, start their own YouTube channel, Instagram channel, you have to do it. You have to go out and do it. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to say, here, Curtis, here's some free hours. Here's some, free work. Everyone else is sitting around. Here you go. No, go out there and get it. Show your manager, show your group leader, show your shop foreman. I want that. I'm ready. Give me more. You have to be a savage. yeah, it's going to hurt some people's feelings, but they're not like, sorry, they're not you. At the end of the day, you pay your bills, they pay their bills, they live their life, and you live your life. Do you think that they're going to be nice and share with you all the time? No, that's not how it goes. And especially not how it goes when you're trying to be number one, you're trying to be the greatest, you're trying to be better than you were yesterday. You're not going to get those handouts. You need to be aggressive and savage. Obviously, courteous, right? People have to make a living, people have to pay the bills. But I'm also not going to let someone who sits around all the time talking about, just talking crap about me, talking crap about other people, complaining, never going above and beyond, just sitting on their butt, expecting handouts, expecting free services and alignments. I'm not going to let that person take advantage of me. Like, I'm going to try to grab as many tickets as I can. You know what? Sorry about you. And if you have a problem with that, like, I'm sorry, maybe you need to look in the mirror and figure out what's going on with you. Because unless you're the dispatcher, unless you're the group, like they say, well, those kind of aren't your problems. Like, your problem is to make hours, make money, and even if that's not as a technician, that's just in life. Like, you need to take care of you. You can't always be worried about what other people are doing, what other people think about you, because if you're just worried about that the whole time, you're not going to go anywhere, you're not going to do anything for yourself. I had a post where I talked about some hours I made in a day. I make those kind of hours on a, I would say, sort of frequent basis. Like a 20, 30-hour day is pretty normal for me. That's like my goal, my daily goal. That's a lot for somebody, but I've been doing this for 15 years. Like, that didn't just happen. I didn't always do that. I've built up to that. And working at Audi has definitely helped, because Audi, their CP jobs, their extended warranty jobs, and even their warranty jobs pay freaking gravy. And if you can master a repair, if you're doing a repair 2 or 3 times, you better be doing it faster than you did it the first time. Like, ask somebody else with more experience than you if you don't know how. You have to have a creative, open mind to be successful in this business. You can't just sit there and expect to, like, the labor times are going to go up. No, the labor times will never go up. They're going to always go down. You think warranty wants to pay us more? No, they don't. But, like, knowing how you can kind of, cut the acceptable corners, or save time in certain areas, or multitask, like you gotta have to excel at those things to be great in this business. And people are gonna dislike you for it. People are gonna hate on you. People are gonna say you're cheating, you're lying, you're stealing. Someone told, I'm not gonna sell things that don't need to be sold. Well, guess what? I don't sell things that don't need to be sold either. I do video inspections on all my cars. I'm showing every customer, and if it's extended warranty, I'm showing every inspector the fault on the car. Like, clear as day, in your face, fault on the car. So, cool. Does it rub me the wrong way when people say that? Yes, absolutely. But guess what? I'm doing everything that I can do the right way, selling it in a way that makes me feel ethical. I don't feel like I'm jabbing anyone in the back. But you have to do those things too. I had put someone to a test the other day about upper control and bushings on Audis. And if you know anything about Audis and German cars in general, bushings are money. They go bad so often. I took a set of bushings under warranty. Maybe a car had like 30,000 miles. And I took a set of bushings on a car that had about 80,000 miles. And I set them next to each other. And I asked them, are these bushings bad for the old car? They said yes. Well, I actually I didn't tell them which bushings were which. And I showed them both sets of bushings. And they said that the bushings were bad on both sets of 30,000 and 80,000. And I'm not saying you need to sell the bushings at 30,000 miles, not at all. But what I'm saying is, I asked him if they were bad, and he said yes. And then I told him that car is under warranty and only has 30,000 miles. And then he proceeded to tell me, well, I don't know if I would sell that. Okay, I don't quite understand that. So, yes, the car's under warranty. You would need to take care of it under warranty. But let's say that car gets up to 40, 50,000 miles, and it's out of warranty, and the customer doesn't have extended warranty, and the bushings are now worse or at the same. Are the bushings bad? That's the question, yes or no. Now, people aren't going to like hearing that. People aren't going to like seeing that. Oil leaks, coolant leaks. Is it leaking? Is it a category 3? Is it dripping? Yes or no? Not how many miles, not what year. Is it bad? I think so many people struggle with that. They're like, oh, you're cheating and stealing. I'm like, no. If you take the mileage and the year off that car and tell me that's wrong, and you say yes, then what the heck's the difference? I don't understand it. I'm not responsible for building an Audi. I'm not responsible for building a BMW or a Mercedes. I didn't build that car. I'm just there to show them what's going on with it in a video, clear as day. And if they're upset with it, well, I to be honest, don't blame them, because an Audi needing bushings at 50, 60,000 miles is a little ridiculous. But is it bad? They can talk to my shop foreman, my managers. I will show them. I will show the customer. I'll show you. And I think so many people get upset about that. it's understandable. But I think it's something, if you want to be successful, you want to be good at what you do, you have to understand that the things that I'm showing people and the things that you should be showing people are the truth. Show them what's wrong with their car. Recommend it. I mean, tell them that it's going to be going bad. Like, I don't know how many times I've sold things on cars where I'm like, hey, your bushings are starting to crack. You probably go another 10, 20,000 miles. Once they start to go bad, these are some things that can happen. A, B, C. And I'm thinking 50% or more of the time, customers are there. They're like, hey, I'm already here. Let's take care of it. I don't know how many times that's happened. I can't count. It's happened so much. I think if you're not setting high goals for yourself, I think if you're too set on what other people are doing and what other people are flagging, and you're not worried about what you're doing to be better, I mean, you're not going to go out there and flag over 100 hours every week in your first 5 years. And if you are, if you're someone showing you how to do it and you feel like you have enough experience, like, cool, that makes sense. I would probably question it at first because I feel like in the first 5 years, a lot of people, especially technicians and mechanics, are really learning who they are. They're still learning the cars. I mean, you have your people who really stand out at goal, or those 1 in a millions, 1 in a thousands. You got those people that stand out, and they're going to learn those things better. They're going to do things faster. And, they'll be doing good. But having so much experience and being able, like, that success and that type of, like, profit and work ethic, that takes time. Like, that's all going to be in time. And if I can do anything to help you by showing you the things that I do in a generic sense, across all brands, what can I do to help you, help the next guy? I mean, shoot, I've learned a ton of things just teaching myself. Like, I'm teaching you how to do something. I'm probably going to learn something from that for myself. I feel like when you teach someone something, you learn it better yourself anyways, because you're having to explain it, you're having to show it, and you're like, I didn't even realize. It's just muscle memory. I'm just doing this and didn't even realize it was happening. So at the end of the day, you got to do what feels right to you. You can't let me convince you to do something or say something that you don't want to do. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. I 100% agree with that. And I 100% agree with what I'm doing feels right. It seems extreme to a lot of people, and I don't quite understand other people's point of views very often. And I say that in the sense that I think a lot of people don't see my point of view very often. There's not a ton of people that see the way anyone sees. Everyone's lives the life in someone else's shoes. But I think in so many circumstances, that's damn near impossible because no one is the same. Everyone is different. You can try to understand what someone means or says or feels, and you can try your dangest, but it ain't gonna happen at the end of the day. Unless you've been through that and you've done that yourself, you're not gonna know what it's like to live in someone else's shoes. And I don't understand why people have to be so mean. I know I've said this before, but like, can't we just be a little bit more open-minded? Can't we just try to learn about the things we don't know about? I mean, some of the things I say might be and sound extreme to you, but there's guys in my shop that have learned from me and that are beginning to flag very similar hours as me, and that's because if they're not been trained by me, they're watching me, they're talking to me, they're seeing what I'm doing, they're seeing how I'm doing it, and they're doing it themselves. And they're young guys, but they're grasping what I'm doing, and they're going to be making the kind of hours I'm making way earlier, but then it took me 15 years to get this far. They're going to be doing it in 5 to 10 years, if not less. Well, they're coming up on 5, so 5 to 10 years. But if you can have that booster in your career, in your technician and mechanic career, I would love to be able to help you. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to start doing. I want to start coaching technicians. I want to start helping people be better and do more, learn from me, what I do daily and weekly. I want to show everybody what I'm doing. I'm not trying to get anyone to believe what I'm doing, but I want to show those open-minded people, usually young people. I feel like so many older technicians are such sticklers that they refuse to see the ways. They always have something to say, always have something to do, or they act like a fool. And it's like, that's fine, then don't do it. Like, if you want help, I'll help you, but don't ask for help and then tell me that I'm doing it wrong. Like, I'm not going to show you something that's like criminal. I'm not going to show you something unethical. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to put in the extra work or get off your phone for 2 minutes. I mean, I know when I'm on my phone during the day, if I'm posting something or trying to record a video and I linger too much on my phone, I can just sail away on an Instagram just a whole Instagram trip for a freaking hour or so. And that takes away from what I'm making, takes away from my hours. And it ain't magic, but you got to eliminate your distractions. It ain't freaking magic. I want to do some training classes with about anywhere from 5 to 10 technicians that I don't know, people that I don't know. I want to start fresh. I'm going to do these courses and coaching classes for free and do them for a couple months. Obviously it's slow right now, so I think now is the perfect time to start. Let's do the coaching classes now. Let's start learning now so that when it gets busier, you can implement some of the things that I have to offer, some of the things that I want to teach you and show you. So if you get this far into the DriveCast, I'm giving you a little passcode. I want you to go to my Instagram, DM me, Mount Wanahakalugi. That's right, Mount Wanahakalugi. If you can't spell it right, that's okay. It's unique enough where I'm going to know exactly what you're talking about. Message me on Instagram, Technar, same handle as on YouTube here. And I want you to go in there and leave your email, a good contact for an email. I'm going to email you some things. We're going to do a little tester run, figure out what works, doesn't work. Hopefully you can give me some feedback because this is brand new to me. I've never done online coaching before. I've done it in person. That's the whole different game. Kind of easy, to be honest. Well, easier. So I want your help, your feedback, your input. What works for you, what doesn't work for you. Like if you like it, you don't like it, it's going to be free. Like I said, 5 to 10 people. If you get this far, Mount Wanahakalugi on Instagram, Technar, N-A-R-R. Send me an email. Send me your email. And let's work together. I want to see if we can get this thing rolling. I think that if you want to be better as a technician or as a mechanic, what I have to offer is going to blow you away. It's not complicated stuff. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've got the secret to unlocking all these crazy secrets and formulas to being more efficient. Absolutely. I'll tell you right now. If you think that's what it's going to be, don't even message me. Don't message me because it's not what it's going to be. It's about putting all these things together, looking inside yourself, deciding what you want, deciding what you want to be, and implementing those things. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. If you're improving, it's always uncomfortable. It's like, everyone talks about the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and getting the same outcome. If you want something to change, you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to consciously put in extra effort and time to do something different if you want a different outcome. It's not going to be fun. It might be fun after when you're making a ton of money. I love making a ton of hours and I love making a ton of money. And I wish I could make more. I think I'm physically at the point where I cannot flag more hours in a day. And that's where getting a raise comes in. Because I want to talk about that too. I want to be able to talk about how do you approach your bosses, your managers, your supervisors. What are the things you need to say, things you need to do? That's all going to be part of the coaching and training is having those hard conversations. Selling yourself. What can you do that no one else can do? And they could argue the point that everyone's replaceable. Yes, to a point, everyone is replaceable. But there's no other me's, no other Curtises out there. Not like me, there isn't. They might have the same name as me, but they don't think the same way that I do. They don't act the same way that I do. They don't flag the same hours that I do. Sure, you can find a couple people to flag the same hours I do, but they're not going to have the same mindset that I do. They're not going to have the same goals, the same, and honestly, if you're working for a company or even a person, I say company and person differently because I feel like sometimes a company is designed and the owners and maybe some of the upper management feel one way and then maybe lower management feels a different way, and that all just varies and it gets skewed because I feel like sometimes a bad egg can ruin things. I had someone tell me something that I believe would be I would have a different outcome if I asked somebody else in the company. And that's I feel as if you're talking to that person and they're telling you that you're replaceable or that someone can do exactly what you can do, maybe it's time to look for another job or career or position. And we all put ourselves in financial strongholds, and not in a good way. We lock ourselves in financially with our issues, our bills, our choices, and it causes so many problems because we can't be flexible enough to change those things when we want to go to a different place to work, when we're tired of people treating us the way or taking advantage of us. Some of us are wise enough to see our own value. They say what you're worth, what you're not worth, and what you feel that you're worth. I mean, we're all going to feel like we're worth more than we are, and maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but personally, I know based on what other people have told me that my worth is higher than mine. So when someone tells me that I'm replaceable, well, I think it's time for me to start taking some steps to unlock my financial like grip that I've put myself in, and I'll admit it, I've done it, and it's ready for me to maybe take some steps in my life to get some more freedom. And that's hard. That's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to think about because, to be honest, outside of this one fella, I like where I work. I like the people, most of the people I work with, and I really like the company that I work for. But sometimes you have to take a step back, and that's back to what I want to teach in the coaching and the courses. I want to be able to teach people to think like that and have those thoughts and those things that they can identify in their lives that will make them better, and they can search for their own value. And you'd be surprised what you'll find. Maybe you'll find you working on cars isn't for you, and that's okay. Maybe you'll learn some new skill in all of this, and you'll go out there and conquer the world. Maybe you'll start your own business or your own line of work, and that's what I think is most important. Is I think thinking for yourself and knowing who you are and what you want to be, knowing what that's worth. If it's not worth a bunch to somebody else, maybe it's worth more to you. What are you willing to sacrifice and do to reach that value? And being able to spend more time with your family and your friends and your kids if you have them. Like, everyone wants a perfect balance, but I'm going to tell you right now that something's going to have to give. You can't have it all. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't have a busy work life making millions of dollars. You can't have spending all your time at home. You can't spend all your time on your hobbies. You can't spend all of your time traveling if you want to be a business owner, if you want to work hard, if you want to be successful at work. Like, yes, we all talk about balance, and we want to have all these things, and we want to do all these things with perfect balance. No one has that. Where do you see that? And if you see it on Instagram or social media, I guarantee you it's freaking wrong. I know that if I'm working hard on my business, content, I'm working hard at work, I'm working hard to be with my family, something else is giving. I'm not at work making money. I'm not making content. I'm not spending more time with my wife and kids. Like, something is going to give if you want to excel in another area. Yeah, can you do it on different days? Can you plan around it? Yes, absolutely. But there will never be perfect balance. If you're at a place of work and they're taking advantage of you and you're busting your balls and they fire you or they let you go or they say, no, we're not going to pay you more, goes back to what I just said. Maybe it's time to look at another thing. Look at something else. And if you want to start something else, guess what? You might have to start from the beginning. And that sucks. And I get it. If you're going to start your own business, you're going to start your own company, you're going to have to start from scratch. If you're going to work for somebody, you're going to have to start from scratch. And that's hard. It's hard to do, and that's how they trap us. I'll admit it. I've been trapped before. I feel a little trapped now, but we got to break out of this thing together. We got to figure out what we want, what you want, what I want. We got to figure all that stuff out. How can we do that? I don't know. I wish I had the answer. At the end of the day, my goal here is to create my own coaching and training business. I want to be a coach for other technicians. That's my goal. That's my plan. And I'm going to continue to do it where I work. What I do and how I make my content, as long as I'm keeping the company name out of it, I'm keeping the background, cars, people, sounds, keeping all that out, but also being able to make my content. Like, I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to multitask on what I want to get done in my life. So yes, I will be sacrificing some things. There's no perfect balance because I do want to spend more time at home. I do want to make a ton of hours and money at work, but I also want this thing to get off the ground. I want this thing to start. So I'll leave you with this. There is no perfect balance in life. If you want to be great at one thing, you're going to have to sacrifice another thing. If you don't want to be a better technician, if you don't want to be a better mechanic, don't message me. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. Don't message me to prove me wrong. That's okay. I don't care. What I've done and what I'm doing, it works. Yes, it's advantageous to be at a dealership, to work for a German brand, my dealership is advantageous to a lot of ones, and that's okay. But I guarantee you that I can show you something, and I can teach you something that will help you be more efficient, will help you be more effective, will help you make more money. It will help you have an open mind, will help you think differently, and you never know what you can do with that. Like I said, Mount Wanahakalugi on Instagram, DM me the passcode, Mount Wanahakalugi, and your email address. I'm going to email a few people. I'm going to reach out, get some base information from everyone, figure out who I want to take on this small coaching journey, and we're going to do it together. And I hope you have the same open mindset that I do, because I want to make more money. I want to learn some things, and I hope you do too. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.